resources having been committed to the project since the financial year 2016-2017, the road has reportedly remained incomplete for years, denying the public and the Matatu vehicle operators the benefits of the project that was expected to transform mobility and livelihoods. Honorable Speaker, the continued delay has caused serious frustrations among area residents and local transport operators who have reportedly staged protests, blocked sections of the road, lit bonfires, and all sorts of actions demanding urgent action to address its poor state. Concerns have also been raised regarding the suspended works, leading to portions of the road deteriorating before completion. This also casts doubt on the effectiveness of the Kenya Rural Roads Authority in supervising the contractor and enforcing contractual obligations on the said road project. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing on the following. 1, reasons for the stalled construction of Keno-Goleni-Kaani Road despite the allocation of funds. 2, details of the funds allocated for construction of Keno-Goleni-Kaani Road, including the disbursed funds and corresponding works undertaken. 3, timelines for completion of the named road. And 4, measures being taken to address the failure by KERA to execute the construction of the works. Mr. Speaker, it's good to note, for the chairman to note, that this project was actually launched by His Excellency the President almost 10 years ago, and that it needs to be completed now before he can hand over power in 2027. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Robert Mbui, you know, when I give you an opportunity to seek a statement, you read exactly, and when I approved your statement, I didn't say anything about handing over power. Or Chair Transport? Chair Transport? Chair Transport?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
When can you bring a response?
In 2 weeks, Honorable
2
Speaker.
weeks.
Yes.
Joshua Kandie.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the quality and standard framework for public-private partnership road infrastructure projects in the country. Honorable Speaker, the public-private partnership framework has over the years been embraced by the government, which has resulted in the implementation of high-quality infrastructure projects, especially in the energy sector and road sector, while easing pressure on public debt. A notable example of such project is the Nairobi Expressway, which has enhanced the movement of people and goods across Nairobi City County. More recently, the government commenced the construction of Rironi-Mau Summit Road under public-private arrangement. However, there is concern regarding the quality and maintenance of roads constructed under PPP arrangements. In several instances, the roads have exhibited premature deterioration, including the development of potholes, pavement failures, and poor drainage system. The Nairobi Expressway, widely regarded as a flagship public-private partnership project, has been experiencing drainage challenges, raising concerns on whether similar design and engineering issues are being adequately addressed in ongoing projects under similar arrangements. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1, details of the policy and legal framework governing implementation and oversight of public-private partnership infrastructure projects, particularly compliance with industry standards and maintenance requirements. 2nd, a report on all road projects implemented under public-private partnership arrangement in Kenya, indicating their respective contractual obligations, project status, and the agencies responsible for monitoring compliance with quality and maintenance standards. And 3, the measures put in place by the government to ensure that there is compliance with the prescribed engineering specifications, maintenance obligations, and service level requirements. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Kandie, Transport Chair, when can you bring a response?
In 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
2 weeks.
2 to 3.
Please, thank you. Jane Kihara. Jane Kihara, member for Naivasha. Mama Jane, there's one next to you. There's one now on the opposite.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for a statement regarding the upgrading of Kinongi Maraigushu Road to bitumen standards. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the upgrading of Kinongi Maraigushu Road to bitumen standards. Honorable Speaker, the Kinongi Maraigushu Road is an 8-kilometer road in Naivasha constituency that has not, for the past several years, been earmarked for upgrading to bitumen standards. Construction works commenced on 15 November 2022, but to date, only 2 kilometers of the road have been completed, with the remaining section yet to be upgraded. The prolonged delay caused considerable inconvenience to residents, farmers, traders, and other road users who continue to suffer the effects of its poor and deteriorating condition. Further, Mr. Speaker, routine maintenance has not been undertaken, in particular clearing the bushes, which has resulted in overgrown bushes encroaching on the significantly reducing usable width of the road. It's noteworthy that with the ongoing construction of the Rironi-Mau Summit Road, which is expected to occasion traffic disruptions and diversions, timely completion of Kinongi Maraigushu Road would provide a suitable alternative route and help decongest the main highway. Not to mention, Mr. Speaker, that I have written to the CS responsible with no response. Mr. Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. Measures put in place to ensure the timely completion and of the upgrading of Kinongi Maraigushu Road to bitumen standards, including an indication on the proposed timelines for its completion. And number 2, Mr. Speaker, steps taken to ensure routine maintenance of the road, such as clearing the bushes to ensure accessibility by road users, connecting Kinongi and Maraigushu markets, pending upgrading works. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair, Transport. When can you bring a
Honorable
response?
Speaker, will take 3 to 4 weeks to respond.
I'll give you 3.
Thank you.
3 weeks from today. Responses. Is George Murugara in the house? Yes, George Best. Sunguya? Not Sunguya, Tongoyo. Sunguya, you are not yet a chairman. Gabriel Tongoyo.
Yes, sir. Honorable Speaker, I've got 2 statements for Sir George Murugara.
Give both in quick succession. Then if you want any clarity.
No, Honorable Speaker, I will start with the one of the child, the missing child. You remember yesterday we did report the instances of missing children in the country.
Yes.
And this is one, the child name is Ms. Shelley Gatumi Mugedi, and it was the circumstance surrounding the missing and the death. And I want to respond as follows. On the 29th April, Ms. Harriet Kagendo Majira, a resident of the Riani village within a location, reported at the Makutano police station via OB number 1229 of 2026 that her 3-year-old daughter, Shelley Gatumi, had gone missing as from the 27th April at around 14 hours. She stated that the child was playing outside the house while she kept watch from the house. Shortly thereafter, she noticed that her daughter was no longer within the site and could not be traced. The neighborhood unsuccessfully conducted a more extensive search for the child on the following day. Subsequently, the OCS in the said police station circulated a missing person signal to all police stations countrywide. On the 29th April 2026, additionally, the officers from the Mutano police station visited the missing child home and surrounding area to assist in the search. And on the May 2nd, Mr. Geoffrey Mutinda, a resident of the area, reported at the Mutano police station that while spraying an insecticide on his pigeon peas farm near Iriaini Central School, together with 2 casual laborers, they discovered the partially decomposed body of a minor beneath a mango tree. The officers documented the scene while Abubuku Kanyana positively identified the body as of his daughter. The body was removed to Martini Level 5 Hospital for preservation and post-mortem, and the sub-county criminal investigation officers Chuka North took over the investigation via inquest file number 1 of 2026, and several persons of interest were summoned, interviewed, and their statement recorded. During the course of the investigation, and based on the witness statement obtained, no link was established between any person and the disappearance and subsequent murder of the minor. Further, no evidence of probative value was obtained. On the 12th of May, a postmortem examination was conducted by Dr. Richard Joroge, the pathologist, who opined that the cause of death was asphyxia secondary to ligature strangulation. Specimens were collected for DNA profiling, though the analysis report is yet to be received. The step taken, Honorable Speaker, the officer commanding OCS circulated, I think that one had already said, the investigation are still ongoing to determine the perpetrators of the heinous act. And on the status of the investigation, the investigation file was completed and forwarded to the office of the DPP, Chuka, on the 18th June 2026. In response to the ODPP via letter dated the 22nd June, recommended that the matter be placed before a magistrate of competent jurisdiction to conduct a public inquest. And I underline that, Honorable Speaker. So far, no arrest has been made in relation to the matter, and the case remains a pending court investigation. So maybe on that one, I can stop at that.
Go to the next. About arrest and the release of a suspect.
On the next question, statement rather, this is regarding circumstances that led to the arrest and the subsequent release of a suspect by the DCI. The member, this is, I want to go straight to the response. Mm-hmm. On the 7th January, the complaint was lodged at the DCI headquarters by Eric Matakwa Okeno, who stated that he is the legal administrator of the estate of his late sister, Rosemary Ann Akinyi Okeno, which included land parcel number CR number 51563, situated in Kikambala, Kilifi County. He alleged that the property has been unlawfully occupied by James Ovid Sugar Yap, a British national, and his agent, Faruki Omar Mzee, and that the property's title deed has been fraudulently transferred using a forged document. He further stated that he had previously reported the matter at Mupwata police station, but alleged that no action has been taken on the complaint. Pursuant to the complaint, the DCI directed the Land Fraud Investigation Unit at DCI headquarters to take over the matter and conducted further investigation, of which during the investigation, the team recorded statements from relevant parties, including one James Ovid, who is being outside the country, submitted a self-recorded statement together with a supporting document through a relative residing in the country, one Mr. Farouk Omar, who claimed an interest in the property by virtue of a general power attorney granted to him by James Ovid Yap. In addition, the investigation team obtained relevant documents from the Mombasa Land Registry and other institutions to facilitate the investigation. On the analysis, Honorable Speaker, the document revealed inconsistency in the land records, including discrepancies between the mother file deed and the presentation book entries, as well as an erroneous OB number quoted in a police abstract relating to the loss of the original title deed. The record further indicated that James Ovid, a non-Kenyan citizen, held an interest in the property under a freehold tenure, which is contrary to Article 65, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Kenya. Upon conclusion of the investigation, the duplicate file was forwarded to the DPP for perusal and direction, which recommended that James Shukar, Farouk Omar, and George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be charged as follows. Count 1, James Shukuriap, Farouk Omar, George Oduol and Lucy Momanyi to be jointly charged with conspiracy to defraud contrary to section 317 of the Penal Code. Count 2, James Ovid Sharap, Farouk Omar, and George Oduol to be jointly charged with forgery of title to land contrary to section 351 of the Penal Code. Count 3, James Ovid Sharap, alias Alva, to be jointly charged with a perjury contrary to section 113 of the Penal Code, with an alternative charge of fabricating evidence contrary to section 114 of the Penal Code. And the count 5, James Shukuriap and Farouk Omar to be jointly charged with intermeddling with the property of the deceased persons contrary to section 45 of the Law of Succession Act. After perusal of the duplicate file, the ODPP on a letter dated 9th February, directed the Farouk Omar Mzee be charged with the following offenses: intermeddling with the property of the deceased, obtaining registry of the title by false pretense, and acting on the ODPP direction, Farouk Omar was arrested on the 2nd April this year in the Hadi area and booked at Hadi Police Station, Vido bin number 11224 of 2026. He was thereafter escorted to DCI headquarters for processing, Vido bin number 1224 of 2026, and subsequently placed in a custody at Muthaiga Police Station, or bin number 2824 of 2026. However, the suspect stated that crucial evidence, and I think this is where the controversy from my colleague is, the crucial evidence relevant to the matter had not been considered during the investigation and requested a review of the case. In the interest of fair administration action, he was released via bin number 2924 of 2026 and directed to present the additional evidence for consideration. The new evidence, namely the Court of Appeal judgment, was subsequently reviewed, following which the duplicate file was resubmitted to ODPP for further review of the decision to charge via the letter as indicated there, which was dated on the 11th June this year. The review was informed by the existence of the related civil proceeding before the High Court of Kenya at Mombasa, civil suit number 2 of 2014, in which James Ovid Sugar Yap was the plaintiff, while Eric Okeno, Judith Sembi Okeno. I'm trying to rush. It's a little bit long. Yeah. In the matter, the court ruled, Honorable Speaker, I know this is where the member, George, had an issue. In the matter, the court ruled in favor of the plaintiff, issued orders directing the defendant to vacate and hand over the vacant possession of plot number 5313, CR 51563, and to pay general damages for the trespass amounting to 1.2 million, The judgment was delivered on the October 9th of 2020, and the defendant appealed against the High Court judgment via appeal number E027 of 2020 before the Court of Appeal in Mombasa, and the appeal was unsuccessful, and the Court of Appeal upheld the decision of the High Court. The duplicate police file is currently with ODPP for review in light of the new evidence presented. The police are awaiting direction. And guidance from the ODPP. Upon receipt of the ODPP direction, the appropriate action will be taken. So I think to that end, Honorable Speaker, I'm sure during interrogation, the suspect. So I think the members, I think that's tend to summarize what is important in the report, in the statement, Honorable Speaker. And I submit.
Just hold on. Thank you. Morogara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, these are extremely unsatisfactory responses from a serious body like the DCI, which is the successor entitled to the CID. And CID was loved and hated in equal measure because they used to do their job properly. The DCI here seems to be actually muddling issues and not taking his work seriously, and especially because of the following reasons. As regards the child, whose name is Shali Gatumi Mugendi, the child was actually kidnapped or whatever it was on the 27th of April 2026, and about 7 or so days later, in the same village where the police officers were conducting searches, that's where she was found. And what is most disturbing is the fact that in a rural setup like this one, the CID can come up with an answer that they do not know who committed the heinous crime, and they have therefore nobody to charge in a court. They call upon the public in an inquest to go and provide evidence for them to enable them act. I think the former CIDs who are now the DCI would possibly laugh at this, because those days we used to know the CID, that even if you committed a crime when you were alone, it wouldn't take you long before you are actually arrested and charged. But today, here is a crime committed in an old village where everybody lives, in a rural setup where everybody knows one another. And as we speak, we have now to cross our hands and pray that somebody has information to give to the police so that there can be a prosecution. This is most unsatisfactory. Let the CID do their work, please, because that is what we pay them for. Now, as regards the second statement, which I would term as also most unsatisfactory, this gentleman was arrested on the 2nd of April. We are told that he was taken to Hardy police station on the same day. Then a statement is made subsequently. He was taken to the headquarters, after where they took him to Muthaiga. And this is all the same day, purely because of the OB numbers given here. Now, it raises doubt whether really this man was handled properly, whether he was taken to any police station, or these are fabrications of the CID. But most important, if the DPP recommended that he be arrested and taken to court, what other business did the DCI have to say he had more evidence and therefore he needed to go back home to bring that evidence so that the file can be reviewed? Since when has the DCI reviewed information or evidence from the DPP? This is extremely curious. But most important again, when they say the evidence related to a civil case, if you look at the charges they proposed to the DCI the first instance, one of them is count number 3, that he would be charged with the perjury. Where was the perjury committed? It is in the cases that are being cited. The next one is an alternative charge of fabricating evidence. Where was the evidence fabricated if it was not in those cases? this statement is an afterthought. I'm sorry, the CS is actually trying to cover up for the CID, while the correct position is that the advice of the DPP has to be followed, the man has to be arrested, arraigned in court, and justice to take its own course. Now, we are told the file is with the DPP, and therefore it has not moved to DCI, purely because I think the DPP is also getting frustrated. How can you recommend that the file is brought back? You are told to recommend again so that we can act. This must be brought to an end. And the Honorable Tongoyo, being the chair of this committee, should actually put down his feet to tell the DCI, move with speed, execute the advice of the DPP so that every Kenyan can also receive justice. It cannot be that we can arrest somebody who is a suspect. He comes and says, I have more evidence. He's released, and we are down 4 months since he was released. 4 months, they have not arrested him. They have done nothing. Sincerely, this is frustrating. This makes every Kenyan wonder what the DCI is doing. Thank you very much.
Tongoyo?
I may not have much to add. I think you can agree with me. It's a little bit of a complex situation. It's an issue between the judiciary, ODPP, and DCI. And,
he says you have given the most unsatisfactory statement. Is that true?
I don't agree, Honorable Speaker. That's what I'm trying to say. A complex situation like this of land. You know, even land in Kenya can drag at even like 20, 30-ish, you know. We have one in Narogor Kiombo, which is doing about 36 years now. So, and,
good. What we do, keep the file open.
Yes.
If you get additional information, furnish the MP.
I will.
Yes. George Best, we'll leave it there. Junet, you, from the House Business Committee, you have the Thursday statement.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442A, I rise to present the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 28th July 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House in the next week. Honorable Speaker, I wish to formally welcome members back from the just concluded short recess and urge them we all embark on the consideration of the upcoming priority business with rigor. As we approach the end of the 5th session, I urge members to remain committed to plenary and committee proceedings in order to enable the House to maintain optimal performance in its consideration of business. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business schedule for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. As second reading of the following bills: 1. The Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024, the Competition Amendment Bill 2026, the Books and Newspapers Amendment Bill 2025, the County Library Services Bill, Senate Bill number 40 of 2024, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2024, and the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024. B. Committee of the Whole House on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions should they not be concluded today. 1. Report of the Kenya delegation to the 151 Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings. Second, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 3. Report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the road and transport sector. 4. Report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the energy sector. 5. Third, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. 6. Seventh, report on the audited financial statements for various funds. 7. Ninth, report on the audited financial statements for various state corporations. 9. Fifth, report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions. And 10, report on sessional paper number 5 of 2026 on the national energy policy. Honorable Speaker, the House will also prioritize the motion and committee of the whole House on the consideration of Senate amendments to the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill 2023. The Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, to which the amendments were referred for considerations, is therefore urged to table its report to the House to guide the considerations of the Senate amendments. Honorable Speaker, with respect to the appearance of Cabinet Secretaries to answer questions from members and provide reports on matters under their charge, I wish to inform the House that question time will be resumed at an appropriate time to be notified. In conclusion, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 4th August 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. And I wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Jeanette. That is the end of statement time. Honorable members, on the order paper, I've been requested by the Chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee, and I've acceded to his request that I reorganize the order paper so that we bring forward order number 10. Then once we dispose of order number 10, we'll go on to order number 8, 9, and sequentially follow the rest of the orders. Yes, Jared?
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I want to state as follows, that leaders are by nature judged at higher standards than any other ordinary mortal, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, about 2-3 weeks ago, a leader in this country did assert that the British Army Training Unit of Kenya had decamped this country for Tanzania, Honorable Speaker, without facts, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, only for 5 days ago, for Batu commanders to come out to say that they have since resumed trainings within this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is also important to note that moving military trainees together with the artilleries that they have is not a mean achievement, it's not an easy exercise that can be done within a short period of time, Honorable Speaker. We are privileged in this House, Honorable Speaker, that you have been our Minister for Foreign Affairs, and no one understands better the diplomatic processes involved. Even when the Batuk had to decamp, there are legal and diplomatic means that must be put in place before such a movement is done, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, we've been... Sorry, Honorable Speaker. So what the leaders are saying, and these are from the United Opposition, Honorable Speaker, as sensational as they are, is to instill fear into people and judge Kenya as a failed state, Honorable Speaker. Far from it, Honorable Speaker, there are many United Nations organizations that are moving into this country and are setting their bases here amidst the noises that are coming from our political detractors, Honorable Speaker. But as leaders, I think it is important that we really investigate what we say and how we say it, because this country belongs to us all. If it collapses with all of us, Honorable Speaker. Just not too long ago, the same leader was asking tourists not to step their feet into this country, Honorable Speaker. Yet, out of tourism, we get our #2 best earner, Honorable Speaker. So, if the tourists refuse to come, how many people do you think are going to lose jobs, are going to lose livelihoods, which they eke out of both tourism and hospitality industries, Honorable Speaker? So politics we can play, and it is important that we play politics. But when it gets into the attention of the international community, Honorable Speaker, we really have to be careful. We have to step back, reflect, retool before we make any adverse assertions that are coming from our leaders. So, Honorable Speaker, you sit at a vantage position to advise leaders from across the aisle to be very careful with the pronouncements that they make, particularly those that inhibit both on international community issues and our own local issues, because the world has become a global village. What you say here does not really end up at Wamunyoro village. It gets the attention of everybody. So, Honorable Speaker, we pass this baton back to you to advise leaders to be very careful and not to become too sensational with emotive consequences that may, again, burn this country. 2007, 2008, and the attendant bad things that happened, Honorable Speaker, was a result of such careless pronouncements by leaders. So thank you for the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. Please direct our country. We have faith in you. We have confidence in you.
Thank you. Yes, Janet?
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me a chance to say something. Mr. Speaker, what is going on in this country is alarming. Mr. Speaker, just first to buttress what my colleague has said about Batuk. Not only did that, I don't want to call him a leader, but that person or that impeached leader, did he only say that that contract was cancelled? He said there was a demand of 3 billion shillings by people in government for Batuk to be allowed to do their work in Nyanyuki or in Kenya. And Mr. Speaker, a day later, the whole thing was restored back. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country is really, really alarming. There is gross violation of the Constitution. This one man who has violated the Constitution when he was in office, and he continues violating the Constitution when he's out of office, Mr. Speaker. I don't know whether our institutions have stopped working. The NCIC, the DCI, the police, Mr. Speaker, because what that impeached leader is doing in this country is to destroy the fabric of this country so that Kenyans can turn against each other. Mr. Speaker, I'm sorry I came late to the House, but with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the people or one of the leaders in this House, Mr. Speaker, who have been elected from a constituency that his community does not stay or is not the majority, Mr. Speaker. And I've represented them for over 3 terms. And I was even a mayor there, Mr. Speaker, where you visited me many times when you were mentoring me in leadership.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, those people did not look at my tribe, did not look at my religion, did not look at my color, they did not look at my face or how my nose looks like. They looked at my capacity to serve them, Mr. Speaker, that community who stay in that area, the Luo community. Mr. Speaker, what is happening in this country? Now, the impeached leader goes to Meru and says, have you missed somebody from here that you can elect an Indian? He goes to Kisii. He says, have you missed someone, then you are electing another Indian here or Chotara? Mr. Speaker, when have we gone that low in this country, Mr. Speaker? When have we, himself, he's claiming that, or he's pleading that his impeachment should be withdrawn by the courts so that he can run for a higher office. He claims that he wants to become a president or a deputy. Who will elect him? If he doesn't want an Indian to be elected in Meru, why should we elect him as our leader? A rogue person like him, Mr. Speaker? A mental case. This is a man with is a psychopath, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to urge, and I'm speaking with a lot of humility, that, Mr. Speaker, if our institutions that are mandated to uphold and defend the Constitution do not take any action against this rogue leader, Mr. Speaker, don't be shocked if Kenyans start, having problems with each other, Mr. Speaker. Look at, Mr. Speaker, what's happening in other parts. The other day, there's a fugitive group that ran away from ODM. They wanted to go and campaign for some candidate in that by-election in Olkalau, Mr. Speaker. He told them, no, you cannot go there. I'm not going to allow you to go to Olkalau. Is Olkalau not Kenya? Is Olkalau not part of this country? Are Kenyans not allowed to go to anywhere, Mr. Speaker? So, Mr. Speaker, this is the house that addresses matters of concern to the people. And that is why we are here. That's why we earn salary. And that is our work, to defend and uphold the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, if the institutions of the country do not want to take any action against that guy, then the committee of this house must summon him. Because the house also have powers to summon anybody in this country, Mr. Speaker, especially people who have violating people who want to destroy the country, Mr. Speaker. So there are committees that I am going to file a motion if I am going to give time to the institutions to do their work. If they don't do, I will file a motion in the House to summon this guy before this House and tell Kenyans why he wants to destroy their country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
We'll stop there. Call out order number 10.
Order number 10, the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, second reading.
Chair, Budget and Appropriations Committee.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Speaker, for accepting my request to be granted the early opportunity to be able to move this bill. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill 2026, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, laid on the table of the House yesterday, Wednesday, 29th July 2026, and pursuant to Articles 191 and 2022 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this bill was prepared by the National Treasury and submitted with the budget policy statement under Section 191 of the PFM Act. It was published on 16th March 2026, passed by the Senate with amendments on 17th June 2026, and read for the first time in the National Assembly on 30th June 2026 before it was referred to this committee. Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to give you make highlights of the bill. And Honorable Speaker, the bill is divided into 3 schedules. The first schedule contains 148.3 million, which is allocated for court fines, and also 1.83 billion, which is 20% of mineral royalties. Honorable Speaker, the second schedule allocates the following: 16.46 billion from the national government share of revenue and 53.82 billion from the loans and grants by development partners, which is in the third schedule. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I'll be able to just make further clarifications on the components of the bill as follows. 1, Honorable Speaker, 148.26 million, which is allocated for 29 counties, led by Nairobi, which will take the lion's share of 72.87 million, Machakos County, 19.17 million, Mombasa County, 14.23 million, and Uasin Gishu County, 13.9 million. Honorable Speaker, these are fines that are related to offenses that touch on the counties. So, Honorable Speaker, at the end of the year, these court fines are shared with the counties that the offenses occurred. Honorable Speaker, the second one is 1.83 billion, which is mineral royalties. And Honorable Speaker, about 30 counties will benefit from this allocation, led by Kwale County, which will take 804.28 million, Kajiado County 310.26 million, Kilifi County 240.8 million, Nandi County 121.48 million, and West Pokot County 103.87 million. Honorable Speaker, these are counties where mining is taking place. And Honorable Speaker, you can see that Kwale is leading. It is important to note, Honorable Speaker, that minerals are found in almost all counties. Even in Siaya, where I come from, there are minerals. So if county governments could work closely with the national government to ensure that these minerals are properly, resourced and mined, then we could see this allocation really going up. Our counties are going to receive more resources. Honorable Speaker, the third one is 3.23 billion, which is monthly stipends to 107,831 community health promoters across 47 counties. Honorable Speaker, you are aware that there's a program where CHPs are paid by national government as well as county governments. Honorable Speaker, here, this money, each CHP will get 5,000 shillings from this bill across all the counties. The fourth one, Honorable Speaker, is 525 million for county headquarters. Honorable Speaker, there are about 5 counties where the national government is assisting them to build their county headquarters. These counties include Isiolo, which has been allocated 158.8 million, Lamu 71.6 million, Tana River 95.3 million, Tharaka Nithi 30.5 million, Nyandarua 166.8 million. Honorable Speaker, the fifth one is 3.25 billion, which has been allocated to 13 counties, which include Bomet, Elgeyo Marakwet, Isiolo, Kisumu, Lamu, Makueni, Mandera, Nairobi, Samburu, Taita Taveta, Tharaka Nithi, Turkana, and West Pokot, for county aggregation and industrial parks, KIPES, with each county receiving 250 shillings million. Honorable Speaker, it is worth noting that 16 counties, namely Bungoma, Busia, Embu, Garissa, Homa Bay, Kisii, Kirinyaga, Kwale, Machakos, Meru, Nakuru, Migori, Uasin Gishu, Kiambu, Trans Nzoia, and Kakamega are counties that have already completed their KIPES, and they are only awaiting operationalization. Honorable Speaker, number 6, 8.61 billion, which has been allocated for transition of UHC workers into permanent and pensionable terms. Honorable Speaker, this is something which would interest members of this House, that there's been a campaign by the UHC workers across the country that they be confirmed into permanent and pensionable employment. Honorable Speaker, I want to report that this bill contains the resources that are supposed to be used for that purpose. Additionally, there's 366.6 million, which is money which is supposed to be used to supervise the affordable housing programs across the country. Each county is supposed to receive 7.8 million so that the teams that are on the ground that are supposed to check the progress of this program can utilize those resources for the same. Honorable Speaker, we have 480.7 million, which is for settlement of Meru County's arbitral award. Honorable Speaker, Meru County received a court award. And from this court award, Meru County paid some portion, and the national government committed to also assist them in paying this award. So we have this allocation here in the bill. The other one is 53.8 billion to multiple donor-funded programs, which include KISIP 2, FLOCA, NAV, CBD, KUSIP, ETCIB. So these are basically donor funding, which is should be implemented in the counties. Honorable Speaker, I want to make a few observations from the committee. One, Honorable Speaker, the county governments continue to benefit from conditional allocations financed through process of loans and grants from development partners. For example, in the financial year 2026-2027, the bill proposes conditional allocations amounting to 53.82 billion, comprising financing from various development partners for implementing projects across 47 counties. However, the committee is concerned that the disbursement and utilization of these funds has consistently been delayed due to some county governments' failure to comply with the conditions required for the transfer of the resources. Consequently, this has undermined timely project implementation, slowed service delivery, and reduced the absorption of externally financed resources. Honorable Speaker, let me observe that there are some counties that are letting us down, where some governors are not focused on serving their people. Donors, the national government engages donors, and these donors commit resources to be spent in those counties, and programs identified. But where the counties must meet certain conditions, their governors are not there to do the same. And therefore, this is the reason why, Honorable Speaker, we have observed that there's frequent delays in absorption of these critical funds, which are supposed to help in supporting our people across the counties. Two, Honorable Speaker, conditions underpinning the access to development partners funds require counties to transfer money received from the national government to the special purpose account. However, some counties are diverting funds from their respective special purpose accounts to cover other expenditures. These actions violate the terms of the intergovernmental participation agreements. Honorable Speaker, this is also another case. And this is something which is not isolated to donor funding alone. Even in some counties, Honorable Speaker, you realize that contractors who have already finished their work and are applying and have met all the conditions to be paid, when those contractors' names are used to access funds from Nairobi, the funds are not wired to their accounts. The funds are instead given to other politically correct expenditures. Honorable Speaker, this is something which this House must ensure that governors are put to task, and we have also told senators to do their best in terms of properly oversighting governors in respect to these funds. Honorable Speaker, the other observation we've made is that the bill proposes an allocation of 3.25 billion to 13 counties for the construction of county aggregation and industrial parks. However, during the consideration of and approval of the financial year 2026-2027 budget estimates, the National Assembly redirected these funds towards equipping and operationalization of the completed but non-operational agro-processing industries in 16 counties that had previously benefited from the program. Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned, about 16 counties have already completed construction of the KIPES, but they have not been operationalized. Therefore, the people who are supposed to benefit from this program have not been able to do so. Therefore, it's in the wisdom of Parliament that these funds here, earmarked here, be directed to equipping and operationalizing of those 16 KIPES. 7, Honorable Speaker, the bill allocates 480.7 million to Meru County to settle an arbitral award. I spoke about it, Honorable Speaker, but the only issue here, Honorable Speaker, is that when we went through the estimates, we realized that we did not allocate these resources. Even though the Senate had included them in this bill, we did not have them in our estimates. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is an observation we wanted to put across. Therefore, we are proposing that this allocation lacks requisite budgetary provision. We are going to make recommendation, and Honorable Speaker will speak about it as well. Honorable Speaker, number 8, the bill proposes allocation of 850 million from the World Bank for the Water and Sanitation Development Program. However, the committee established that the entire allocation for the program has already been transferred to the beneficiary counties, and that the project is scheduled to close in October 2026. Consequently, no further allocation should be made to the program in this financial year. Number 9, Honorable Speaker, the committee noted that the request by the State Department for Housing and Urban Development to restructure the allocation of the Kenya Urban Support Project urban institutional grant by separating it into loan revenue of 684.7 million to be allocated to 45 county governments and grant revenue of 260 million to be allocated to Garissa and Turkana counties. Honorable Speaker, the proposed restructuring is intended to align the financing of the project with the respective funding resources, reflecting the loan refinanced and grant finance components of the program. Honorable Speaker, this is very clear that we are separating the loan component and the grant component, and that the grant component will only be spent by Garissa and Turkana counties. The rest of the loan will be spent in the remaining 45 counties. Honorable Speaker, let me go through the recommendations by the committee. Honorable Speaker, having deliberated on the provisions of the bill and reviewed them against the approved budget estimates for financial year 2026-2027, the committee recommends the bill to be approved with the following amendments. 1, that column D of the second schedule that provides for allocation of 3.25 billion to counties, to construction of county aggregation and industrial parks, KIPES, be deleted from the bill. 2, that column G of the second schedule that provides for allocation of 480.78 million for settlement of the arbitral award of Meru County government be deleted from the bill. Honorable Speaker, I think I'm clear that we do not have this in the estimate, and therefore it is untenable. It is not tenable in this bill. Number 3, that column H of the third schedule that provides for 850 million from the World Bank for the Water and Sanitation Development Program be deleted from the bill because the program has come to an end. And the funds already released to counties. Number 4, that column 1 and J, column I and column J of the third schedule to be amended to reflect the loan financing and grant financing components of the bill. Honorable Speaker, this bill is as simple as I have highlighted, and that we already went through this bill when we were processing when we were going through the budget processes, and especially during the first phase of the budget process, and that I'm sure most members are conversant with this bill. Therefore, I don't want to waste more time, members. Honorable Speaker, I would like, with your permission, to move and ask my able Vice Chairman, the Member of Parliament for Endebess, Honorable Dr. Pukose, to second.
Honorable Robert Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to second the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026. This bill, Honorable Speaker, as my chair has put it, was passed by the Senate and committed to the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that after the Senate passed and transmitted to the National Assembly, this bill provides the legal framework for transferring conditional allocations from the national government and development partners to counties under Article 202 as of the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Act. Honorable Speaker, this bill transfers money from the shareable revenue of the national government, and you'll find that from the national government, you have allocations of close to 16.46 billion that of the shareable revenue that is being transferred to the county governments. It is also transferring 53.82 billion from loans and grants provided by the development partners to county governments. This is in addition to the 425 billion that the 428 billion that the national government allocated to the county governments. So, Honorable Speaker, in this bill, you have allocations to the UHC workers, and this has been a very thorny issue, and the UHC workers are expecting that by this July, they should be able to be paid their money. And that is the hurry by the committee to make sure that we pass this bill so that the county governments can now be able to pay UHC workers as permanent and pensionable. Each county has a certain number of UHC workers. And those UHC workers, now that the National Assembly has passed this bill, we expect that the Senate will not have any dispute as per what we've recommended as at the committee, and that the House will agree with our recommendation so that the UHC workers can be able to get their money. Under this bill, Honorable Speaker, you've also seen that under the conditional allocation, we've given money for CHPs, community health promoters, which are shared function between both the county government and the national government, so that this money can also go to the counties. And you've seen that some of the counties have very few UHC workers like Lamu, and you look at the amount of money they are getting is low compared with the rest. Honorable Speaker, this bill also provides money for other programs such as KIPES, such as FLOCA, which is now you have FLOCA 1, FLOCA 2, and this is money that goes into climate resilience and other activities that are within the county governments. So we expect that the county governments will be able to utilize this money well. And as my chair put it, and this is an observation that has been made both by the Senate and the National Assembly, that accountability is a very important role for the county governments. They must account for the money so that they can get the next disbursement, because these are donor-funded projects. And you'll find that there are counties that have delayed in making sure that they are able to account for that money. And this is what leads to delay in disbursement. And we are hoping that the county governments will be able to perform their role, make sure that they account for this money, because this money has conditionalities, and you must be able to meet those conditionalities. Honorable Speaker, you will find that when we were debating the budget estimates, the committee had also put money to complete some of the KIPES projects within several other counties. In this also, there is also money for KIPES so that these industrial parks can be completed in time, and it's a shared responsibility, because the national government is putting 250 million and the county government should also put their share. But you will find that there are some counties which occasionally they are not able to, they are putting programs that are in projects like in the KIPES, and at the end of the day, you'll find that they also withdraw that money. So this leaves those projects incomplete. So we're asking the governors that they must be able to put their part of their share into this, because it's a 50-50 sharing, and the national government has now put their conditional grant so that counties can also put their 250 million to complete those KIPES in time, to allow the citizens of those counties to be able to engage in meaningful development within these KIPES. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question. Order. Yes. Honorable members, I propose the question that the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2026, be now read a second time. The Honorable Dr. James Ombora Nyikal, MP for Seme.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this bill. Mr. Speaker, just have a few comments to make. One, this is an extremely important means of ensuring that we actually give counties more resources that they need. And further, that it actually gives resources as needed and how they are to be applied. And so grants, loans, profits from minings that probably come after we have done other divisions, the DORA will actually be done through this. And further still, some of these funds, like the proceeds from minerals, even the grant, may not fit in the CARA, the County Allocation of Revenue Act, which normally has a fixed formula. And so if you have funds that need to go for specific activities in specific counties, then it does not accommodate them. And again, it is important that if you have things that are conditional, that the money should go for, then it should go in this, and it is easy then to monitor that. It also takes into consideration the unconditional components, which is justified, because, for example, if minerals accrue and then they go to the counties should have the right to use those resources as and when they want. And for example, the court fines, when the court fines also accrue from cases that occur in those counties, so them being unconditional is acceptable. So, Speaker, I'll just make a few comments in the health sector. One is the health, community health promoters. This is something we continue to do, and the payments are done both by the county governments and the national government. And so you have a double payment system. In the best situation, we would have actually had to do this as a single payment system with one paying. But as we know, that does not work well. And I think we must look forward as the counties that if monies go, they should be used for what they are meant to be done, to be used. And so that in future, we may need to have the health promoters put the money in the budget and they use it all from the counties. The next one is the UHC health workers. Mr. Speaker, this is extremely important. This is actually the second year we are actually putting money for this purpose. In the first year when we did it for this purpose, it actually didn't work well because the counties felt that they wanted to be assured that this money will be available every year before they take these officers. And even now, Mr. Speaker, as we are discussing this, there is already an argument going on that the counties are insisting that they can only use this, take up these people in permanent employment if the money is assured every year, and therefore they want it in DORA. But if you do that with DORA, then the formula that they will use in CARA after they have got DORA will not be such that you take into account the specific numbers of health workers that are in various counties. So I feel concerned that we are passing this bill It's something we have worked. The county has raised the money is there. The workers are actually already in the counties are working. Why can't we take them up? I think this country, we must find a way there where institutions do not disobey law, because in my view, this is an act of parliament when we pass it, and anybody disobeying it is actually disobeying the law. There should be sanctions. So I would be very uncomfortable if once again this 8.6 billion does not solve the problem of UHC workers. I will appeal to the counties that this is the second time. What is the fear that this money will not be given a third time? Unless, of course, Mr. Speaker, we put it in DORA, then we'll have to revise the formula in DORA and put flexibilities that will mean that each county will then use that specific formula, which then divides it according to the workers that are in that county. And the dispute is coming because there is fear amongst the workers that if this money goes through DORA, then it will open up that the governors can use it to just employ other people and not apply it to the people that it's specifically meant for. So, Mr. Speaker, I support this bill, but I once again make an appeal to our governors that this time, let us use this money to solve the problem of UHC workers. We have talked about it for 2 years. This is the time to do it. Because if that does not happen, then we'll have to look as a country, can we amend DORA or CAR actually in particular, so that we can be used it in flexible ways and not just the formula that we now have. With that, Mr. Speaker, I support.
The Honorable Dr. Nyikal, the Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to start by thanking my chairman and the vice chairman for this important bill, the county government's additional allocations bill, a bill which is supposed to be providing the legal framework for additional resources to the counties after the equitable share, Honorable Speaker. These resources are in two categories. There are those which are going to come from the government, and there are those which will be coming from the donors, Honorable Speaker. For the ones coming from the donors, from the government, Honorable Speaker, we have the court fines, which are supposed to be shared to a number of counties. And then category 2 of that, we have money from the minerals, Honorable Speaker, the royalties from the minerals, Honorable Speaker. But there are also additional resources, Honorable Speaker, from the government. That is the money for the healthy workers, and the money also, Honorable Speaker, for the CAIBs. Honorable Speaker, because this bill originates from the Senate, you realize that the proposal, in the proposed bill, Honorable Speaker, there is money for construction of the CAIBs. And this was provided overlooking the fact that, Honorable Speaker, that money had already been taken away at the budgeting stage, Honorable Speaker, for equipping of the already constructed CAIBs, Honorable Speaker. And that means the Senate was actually allocating money which is not in the budget. And that calls for some action, Honorable Speaker, in terms of harmonizing the final budget with what the Senate is doing. That was also repeated, Honorable Speaker, where resources were provided for the compensation of a court case, court award in Meru, while the resources also in the budget were not there. And what this means, Honorable Speaker, is that you are proposing a bill to the National Assembly, and if it's passed as it is proposed, Honorable Speaker, then automatically, Honorable Speaker, it means that there will be no resources in the budget to meet that budget, Honorable Speaker. And to me, I think that's a very tricky area. And I think really the Senate needs to be keen on what is passed as a final budget by the National Assembly. Because it is this House which has the final word in terms of what is the budget is, Honorable Speaker. The other thing, Honorable Speaker, which is also important to note, Honorable Speaker, is when it comes to the money from the donors, Honorable Speaker. And I must really appreciate our development partners. A lot of resources have been provided to the counties to support development in the counties, Honorable Speaker. But we have realized, Honorable Speaker, some counties, even when they get this money, they don't meet the minimum required conditions for this money to be accessible, Honorable Speaker. And what has happened is there are lots of delays. You have a lot of resources in the accounts, resources which are not being accessed. And that causes challenges in terms of implementation, Honorable Speaker, and challenges in terms of getting additional resources from the donors. So I think as a House, we need to urge the county governments that by the time they get these resources, they need to have met the preconditions which have been set by the donors, so that when this money comes, it's able to assist our people, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the other issue is the issue of the county headquarters. Honorable Speaker, having been in this House for quite some time, Honorable Speaker, I think if you look back to our budgeting process, Honorable Speaker, since 2014, this House has been allocating resources for construction of county headquarters in 6 counties, Honorable Speaker. 6 counties. And every year, we have been allocating resources, Honorable Speaker. And I would be very interested to get a report in this House telling us, where are we? 10 years after allocating resources every year, and we are still allocating more resources for these counties. I would want to urge my chairman and the vice chairman, I think it's time now we actually do physical visits of this county headquarters. Because we might be getting this money to a hole, which is a bottomless hole, Honorable Speaker. And that's why I think the issue of accountability, as Honorable Bukosa was saying, the issue of accountability at the level of our counties, Honorable Speaker, needs to be enhanced. We need to see more accountability of the resources which are going to the counties. I don't know whether the money might have been diverted to other activities, or the money might have misapplied, or the money might have got into people's pockets. And these are critical issues, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, even as this House goes out of their way to allocate more resources to the counties, I think it is important that the counties make sure that these resources are applied in line with the law. I want to thank my committee, Honorable Speaker, this time, because we are debating this bill early enough in the year. And I hope that the changes we have made, because, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, we have recommended deletion of those areas where we think there is no budget provision in the budget. Now, our hope is that the Senate will be able to agree with us so that we get this becoming an act of parliament. Otherwise, if they reject, Honorable Speaker, it means then we go to a level of mediation again. And you know how long it takes to mediate some of these bills, Honorable Speaker. And that will cause an unnecessary delay in implementation. So my appeal to the Senate is that to agree with our recommendations, have this become an act of parliament so that the counties can access these resources in good time for implementation. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you so much.
The Honorable Badibadi.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kuweza kunipatia nafasi hii ili mimi pia kuchangia katika mswada huu. Mheshimiwa Spika, huu mswada ni muhimu sana kwa sababu hii ni mojawapo ya miswada muhimu inayohusu pesa za ziada zinazoenda kwa kaunti zetu mbali na equitable share ya kawaida ambayo wanapata. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona juu ya pesa hizi kuwa inawapatia kaunti zetu kwa mahitaji yao ambayo wanashughulikia. Na mengi Mheshimiwa Spika yaliyosemwa leo, tunaona wanenaji wenzangu wamezungumzia juu ya KAIPS ambazo zimetengenezwa katika kaunti mbalimbali. Na vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, tumeona kuwa pesa hizi za juu zinasaidia katika kulipia locum kama wale madaktari wetu ambao wako katika sehemu mbalimbali, na vile vile kushughulikiana katika mambo ya climate change. Mheshimiwa Spika, fedha hizi ni muhimu kwa sababu tunaona kando na zile fedha za kawaida ni fedha ambazo zinakuja za ziada, na kuna kaunti mbalimbali ambazo zinafaidika sana na fedha kama hizi. Kwa mfano dadangu ambaye ninakaa naye hapa, Mheshimiwa Mulkhair, kule kwao Garissa County, ni pesa ambazo zinasaidia sana na katika pia kuona kwa inaboresha maisha ya watu wetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukizungumzia kuhusu KAIPS, tunaona kuwa ni mambo ambayo ni ya kweli, kwa sababu kule kwangu wakati ule mradi huu ulikujaanzishwa na Mheshimiwa Moses Kuria, na kusema kweli KAIP kule Mombasa iko katika sehemu yangu ya Jomvu, mahali kunakoitwa Miritini, na mradi huu utaweza hasa kuona kuwa utatoa kazi nyingi sana kwa vijana. Ombi langu Mheshimiwa Spika ni kusema kuwa kaunti ya Mombasa ijaribu sana kushirikiana na mkandarasi ili kuona kuwa mradi huu usiende polepole, mradi huu uende kwa haraka, kwa sababu kiu hivi sasa iliyoko kwa vijana wetu ni kazi. Na tukiangalia katika pale ndani kutakuwa na godowns, katika pale ndani kutakuwa na aggregation points, na pia katika pale ndani tukiangalia tutakuwa na watu ambao wakileta vitu vyao vya kulima ikifanyiwa kitu inaitwa value addition. Na tukiangalia mambo kama haya yataweza kukuza vijana wetu, watatoka kwenye njia ya kungojea wapewe kazi Mheshimiwa Spika, na kujiajiri wenyewe kule tokamana na ile facility ya KAIP ambayo iko pale. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi leo nataka kusema kuwa nimebahatika na namshukuru Mheshimiwa Gavana Abdulswamad Sharif Nassir kuona kuwa mradi huu uko katika sehemu yangu, na vile vile katika mambo ya climate change. Nachukua wakati huu na fursa hii kumshukuru Waziri Emily kwa sababu hasa amesongamana mambo haya climate change katika sehemu yangu ya pale Jomvu Mheshimiwa Spika, na hata juzi Mheshimiwa Musa Sirma na kamati yake ya CDF walikuwa pale kwangu kuja kupanda miti. Na vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, natangaza leo kwa World Guinness Book of Record ya kupanda mikoko simultaneously atago ilivunjwa wiki iliyopita kwa watu 5,000 ambao walikuwa kwangu pale Jomvu, na mimi mwenyewe nikishiriki katika kuvunja rekodi ile kwa mambo haya ya climate change. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka kusema vizuri sana ya kwa kaunti zetu kama alivyosema wenzetu Mheshimiwa Makali Muli na wengine. Makali Muli alisema kuwa accountability ni muhimu sana katika kuona mahesabu ya fedha hii, kila moja inaweza kuonekana imeweza kufanya kazi gani, kwa sababu ni donor funded hii projects ambazo wafadhili wanatupa pesa. Tusipoweza account ama kuweka mahesabu yetu vizuri, pesa hizi tukiweza kuwekewa tashwishi nazo Mheshimiwa Spika, inaonekana kuwa tutaweza kuzikosa na watu wetu wataweza kukosa makazi. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, nataka kuunga mkono mswada huu na kusema kuwa ni muhimu sana kuona kuwa hata hizi pesa Mheshimiwa Spika ambao zatoka kwa donors zikija kupitia Central Bank zisicheleweshwe, zifanywe kwa haraka sana katika that transition point ya kuona kuwa hizi ziweze kwenda katika makaunti waweze kufanya mambo yao yale ambao wanahitaji. Tunaona Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi wakati wa nyuma Locam, mimi mwenyewe binafsi, kuna msichana alikuwa anaitwa Sharifa, leo ameandikwa kama daktari Jomvu Model Health Center. Tulikuwa tukimfanyia bidii akipata kazi kupitia through Locam, na wengine wengi ambao tunajivunia leo kuzungumza ni kuhusiana na hizi fedha ambazo zimeweza kusaidia mambo ya climate change. Tukiangalia maneno ya kazi mtaani, Mheshimiwa Gavana Abdulswamad Sharif Nassir ajaribu kusafisha mji wetu wa Mombasa kutokamana na njia ambazo waona kuwa waekee watoto hawa pesa ambazo wataweza kulipwa ili kuonekana kuwa mji wetu uko sawasawa. Mji wa Mombasa Mheshimiwa Spika, kusema kweli pesa hizi zatakana sichelewe, kwa sababu katika mji wetu wa Mombasa ni juzi tu delegates 6,000 wa Ocean Conference ambao walikuja kule Mombasa. Ilikuwa ni kongamano likiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Ali Hassan Joho ambaye ni waziri wetu wa madini, na vile vile likahudhuriwa na rais wetu Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto, na vile vile Mheshimiwa yule Mwinyi wa kule Zanzibar. Katika kuja Mombasa ilikuwa ni fahari, kwa sababu leo Mheshimiwa Spika, hata ukenda Moi International Airport VIP launch imbadilishwa kutoka wakati ule hivi sasa inaonekana kimataifa, ni kutokamana na hilo kongamano la watu wengi waliokuja, kuwa inaonekana Mombasa yetu inakuwa sawa. Kwa hivyo mheshimiwa, kwa hayo mengi ambayo nimejaribu kusema, nataka pia mimi kuunga mkono kusema kuwa hizi fedha twawaomba donors ama wafadhili walete kwa wingi, kwa sababu kuna mambo mengi. Na hata mheshimiwa Spika, si kaunti peke yake ambao wanafanya mambo haya. Kuna vikundi kama Big Ship, kuna vikundi kama Bidii Youth CBO ambao wana proposals nzuri sana. Hizi pesa zitoke tu kupelekwa kwa county kufandi katika mambo kama haya. Ikiwa dona serikali waweza kuwasaidia hawa vijana wetu wenye idea, ni kuona kuwa mawazo yao yawe actualized ama yaweze kuwezeshwa kupitia direct kwa donors hawa, waweze kukimu katika mambo ya project zao. Kwa hayo mengi mheshimiwa Spika, mmeshukuru mheshimiwa Kaluma kunipa nafasi hii. Mimi Badi Twalib, kijana mwepesi, Garang Dimabiori, mzee Fula Ngenge, nikimalizia, asante, Mungu akubariki. Thank you my brother.
Asante sana Dimabiori, mzee Kula Ngenge. Honorable David Kosing.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the bill as moved by our able chair. And Honorable Speaker, I am also, this afternoon or this evening, I'm hearing my friend, it's called Mabior, or what is it called? Those are not Kenyan names, Honorable Speaker. Those are Sudanese names. And because I neighbor Sudan, Honorable Speaker, I can tell you the melanin of Sudanese people doesn't look like this one. This one is a fake one, Honorable Speaker, because the Sudanese are black and dark and a bit taller than Honorable Twalib. However, Honorable Speaker, we've just said earlier that we are all Kenyans, so he's also a Kenyan. Speaker, as I support this bill, I want to raise 3 issues, Honorable Speaker. The first one is about the proposal by the chair, by our Apple chair, of deleting those clauses which were in the bill that came from Senate to us, Honorable Speaker. I want to emphasize that and reiterate, Honorable Speaker, so that our colleagues in Senate can understand that this is a cleanup. And I want to support it, Honorable Speaker, as a cleanup, so that they don't also look at it, Honorable Speaker, as an amendment. Because if they see it as an amendment from ourselves, Honorable Speaker, then as a colleague said earlier, and then it will result into mediation. And you know, mediation, Honorable Speaker, will delay the money going to our people and our counties. So I want to support that, Honorable Speaker, but reiterate that our colleagues in Senate understand that this is a cleanup. There's nothing to do with maybe a deletion of what they proposed. No, it's a cleanup, Honorable Speaker. I'm saying this because, Honorable Speaker, in last Parliament, when I was chairman of transport, one of my bills, or my committee bills, ended up in mediation. And mediation, Honorable Speaker, is just like you're killing the bill, you know, unnecessary delays and so on and so forth. So my belief is that as we support this, that our colleagues in Senate understand that this is a cleanup bill, Honorable Speaker. That's point number 1. Point number 2, I'm very glad I saw some little money coming to my county, Honorable Speaker. That is the county of Hidden Treasure, and that is West Pokot County, Honorable Speaker. I can see some money from royalties, about 103 million is going to go to West Pokot County. Honorable Speaker, as we support the bill, of course that means that we are supporting the transmission of that money to our county, Honorable Speaker. We want to put more emphasis. That number 1, I am thinking this money is very little, particularly knowing, and everybody knowing in Kenya now, that West Pokot was actually a county of hidden treasure, and now it's becoming a county of minerals, county of mining. It's becoming actually the headquarters of mining, possibly in this country, Honorable Speaker. So when I see some little money like 103 million is going to my county, I'm believing that, Honorable Speaker, that would be actually vice versa. What I see in Kwale, 800 million, I would want to see, as I support the chair giving this money to West Pokot, I am believing, Honorable Speaker, that as we move forward, that we get more money. And why I'm saying that, Honorable Speaker, and I want to appreciate what my county governor, Honorable Kachapin, is doing, particularly in trying to promote local artisans. Honorable Speaker, in places where we come from, you know, where everybody is thinking or was thinking that these are counties of rustlers and so on, Honorable Speaker, we are thinking, Honorable Speaker, that the future of West Pokot is mining. the future of West Pokot is mining. And people were not going for raiding just because they like raiding, Honorable Speaker. Nobody likes raiding. I've been telling the house and these colleagues of mine who are in this house, nobody likes raiding. Maybe people are going because they don't have alternative livelihood. And education has come in to provide an alternative livelihood. Farming is also an alternative livelihood, Honorable Speaker. But when you look at places like West Pokot, which are basically dry, Honorable Speaker, then the future is mining. And that's why I'm saying, as much as I agree with the chair, maybe that was what was available. I am thinking that, Honorable Speaker, that this needs to be looked at national level at where we are, so that monies like this can go to those counties which I'm saying, because I am saying, Honorable Speaker, that the future of West Pokot is mining. And therefore, the boys, we can take our boys through the artisanal mining, through local mining, Honorable Speaker, so that they leave, the few who are still available, they can also leave cattle rustling, Honorable Speaker, and find some alternative livelihood, which is our own. After all, we are county of hidden treasure. And this hidden treasure, Honorable Speaker, is our own minerals. I am proposing that the chair, having to look at that again, maybe in future, that this money goes more in West Pokot County. And when it lands in West Pokot County, Honorable Speaker, I am of the opinion, and I want to persuade our county leadership, that this money should go to the promotion of local artisans, of local people to do what? To do mining, Honorable Speaker. Even if it is in small contribution or small works, Honorable Speaker, it is going to answer what I am trying to say, which is that we should look for an alternative livelihood of our people in those regions. What will you do? You cannot take them to farming. There's no water for farming. There's no irrigation for farming. So what happens? We want to take them to mining. And therefore, some little money like this, I want to persuade our county leadership that they should now take that opportunity to help in promotion of local artisanal miners, and particularly along the areas where, of course, we see this coal. So that, Honorable Speaker, we don't only come and watch or work for expatriates or international people who are coming to do mining, Honorable Speaker, that our people should not only be workers. I think just only being a worker, digging the ground and stones and crushing the stones, Honorable Speaker, does not give us dignity. It will give us dignity if our people are the ones doing the actual mining, Honorable Speaker, and they can sell minerals internationally. That way, Honorable Speaker, and then we will eventually, going forward, we will change the minds of the people from animal dependency, maybe to mineral dependency, Honorable Speaker. And as I said, and I want to repeat again, we take advantage that our county is county of hidden treasure. And that hidden treasure are so many, but primarily is also minerals. And what is available at the moment, of course, Honorable Speaker, is gold. The last point I want to add, as I support this bill, Honorable Speaker, is this issue of building of county headquarters. Speaker, as other members have said, I was wondering myself when the chairman was saying he's giving money to some places, some counties. I'm not saying that we don't like those counties, Honorable Speaker. But when I was chairman of transport, some of these, they used to be in my committee. And 5 years ago, Honorable Speaker, when I was here, not 5 years, now it's almost 9 years. When I was chairman of transport last parliament, we used to allocate money from my committee for building some of these headquarters. You mean you build a headquarter for 20 years? What is going on? Is that still a headquarter, Honorable Speaker? It's not. So maybe, as our colleague said, maybe, and the chair has just left out, Honorable, my very able vice chair, who is a very serious leader, Honorable Bokose, who sometimes people misunderstand for my name, Kosing. So we almost share names, you know, Bokose and Kosing are very close. But we come from close places, Honorable Speaker. He's my neighbor. So sometimes I can be misunderstood. One day I was called, I almost took his gift, but I was fair. I just say, return to Honorable Bokose. I almost took it because I respect him. That, Honorable Speaker, the committee, now that the vice chairs, visit some of these county headquarters. Do they still exist? Or now they have become conduits of people biting some public resources, Honorable Speaker? Maybe it is true. But I can remember I was chairman of transport. I used to bring that bill here, and particularly during the negotiation for budget. Those county headquarters were still there, and they're still here, and they're receiving, I've seen the bill here, they're receiving a lot of money. For what? Why don't we find something? Or why don't the counties take? And Speaker, Now we are going for 15 years inside those counties. If the governor has not sat that office is, wherever governor is sitting now, that should be the headquarters. We should not give money for that. We should now take the money, Honorable Speaker, to educate our children. In the universities, what the president is saying, that we give our money to our students to go to school, the colleges, the TVETs, the secondary schools. Whatever, if the governor has been sitting on under a tree as headquarters for 15 years, let him sit forever there. Don't waste our money, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Pukose is listening to me and is getting the sense. It's almost helping me. But
Dr. Pukose is asking to inform you. Do you
absolutely. It's my namesake.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Pukose.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, Honorable Gosin is the next governor for West Pokot, and I respect him. I just wanted to let him know that as a committee on budget, we've decided that we will also visit those counties that are still receiving money for building of county headquarters. So we already have a plan. We want to see, are they really constructing, or the construction stopped, and what happened? Where does the governor sit, just the way you are putting it? So we've already done a program, and we are expecting that the Speaker will approve our schedule so that we can visit those counties.
Or even better, the Honorable David Kosing. Why don't these governors visit Homa Bay County and see how county headquarters can be built within a year? The governor for CI has been doing that of late, and I hope he will implement something the other side.
So with those men, I think, Honorable Speaker, through what Honorable Pokose has said, that is seeking for your permission to visit, can I move the motion that they visit now, that you agree with that motion of Honorable Pokose that they visit? And I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Thank you. Honorable members, let me recognize a number of students, teachers, and learners for various institutions across the country. In the Speaker's Gallery, Honorable members, we have Mustard Seed School from Mgwen constituency in Nandi County. We also have Central Comprehensive School from Saboti constituency in Trans Nzoia County. All the learners, all the teachers, and the school communities are welcome to the House of Parliament to observe proceedings and to learn. The Honorable David Gikaria, who is the chairperson of the Departmental Committee in charge of Energy and Petroleum, will now make his contributions.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the county government additional allocation for the year 2026-2027. Honorable Speaker, it is important for us as a National Assembly to note that as we approve this, and as Makali Muli had indicated, that we also, the Senate does not take time again, so that again we don't have disputes in this very important bill that is before us, Honorable Speaker. And it is important also to note that as we, as Parliament, try to allocate and agree with the Senate on how much should be sent to the county, Honorable Speaker, it is important also for the counties to understand and note that they should not only depend on what is coming from the national government. They need to efficiently be able to check. Honorable Speaker, I had an opportunity of being the mayor of Nakuru municipality at one time. Honorable Speaker, it was very vital for them to be able to improve, enhance on their own source revenue, Honorable Speaker. That without that, and they're only depending and sitting back, waiting for the national government to be able to allocate, then I think we will be doing a lot of injustice. Honorable Speaker, I remember when we came with you here in Parliament, Honorable Speaker, you have always been a very devoted proponent of devolution. In fact, at first we never thought devolution was of any importance or purpose. But of course, through the late Mheshimiwa, the late, may his soul rest in peace, our brother Raila Amolo Odinga, we have come to see the importance and the value of devolution and what it can do in our counties at the mashinani level. Honorable Speaker, when we talk about Nakuru County, we have seen the transformation over the last, say, 13 years or so, and what devolution has been able to do. And of course, this bill here will go a long way, not only to give over and above the equitable share, but this additional revenue will go. But Honorable Speaker, it is important for us also to understand that as we disperse this money and as we approve this and monies are sent, it is the responsibility of the respective governors to be able to accountably be able to give a feedback on how this money is spent. It is also the responsibility, Honorable Speaker, of the members of the County Assembly, for them to be able to do their due diligence. Honorable Speaker, it was unfortunate a few years back that we had some monies of this nature, which was being given to our city, that it could not be able to proceed, Honorable Speaker, just because they had not done any public participation. Honorable Speaker, one of the issues that is very, very important here is the unconditional allocation that is supposed to be given. Honorable Speaker, these monies that have been given, one of them, as it is indicated under, that is subclause 5A, talks about unconditional allocation being proceeds from court fines collected from the enforcement of county legislation as set out in column B. Honorable Speaker, this is a very dangerous trend. And we also need to request our county governments to be able to be careful about this. Honorable Speaker, when the county realizes they are not collecting money enough for them to be able maybe to increase their own source revenue, now they go into that unconstitutional means of just going to say, we are going to arrest Boda today, and they fine, they go and tell the magistrate it's around, the cutoff is around 5,000, irrespective of what the law says. Honorable Speaker, this is as much as we would want to encourage money to be collected from the courts at the county level. Honorable Speaker, it is also prudent for the governors and their respective CECs in charge of enforcement and finance not to use these clauses to be able to go and punish our local leaders. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, it is important, and particularly for the national government, as we collect, as indicated under subclause 5B, as we collect monies for royalties, it is important for us to send that money down to the counties. It is unfortunate that for the last, if I remember, was it Taita Taveta? I was a chair of the Environment Committee, Honorable Chair, and it was unfortunate that a lot of money was collected out of royalties from titanium in Taita Taveta, and is it Kwale, sorry. Yeah, thank you, Mheshimiwa. It was in Kwale, only for them to be able to be given their royalties 4 or 5 years thereafter. Honorable Speaker, that is very unfair to the counties, that as we collect, we should make sure that the money that has collected from mining, as indicated by the incoming governor of West Pokot, mining is a great opportunity for counties to be able to collect royalties, which are collected by the national government and of course sent as per the laws, different laws as indicated on that. Honorable Speaker, for the purposes of the KIPES, I think that is something that is very important. In Nakuru, we already have one KIPE in Joro, and this will go a long way in creating employment for our youth. Of course, Honorable Speaker, not forgetting health. As we are talking now, Honorable Speaker, most of these counties, their health workers are on strike. It is unfortunate that we are still, and you remember, we have been global. Should we bring this function back to the national government? But, Honorable Speaker, as we are talking, it is very unfortunate that most of these counties, but I would want to say, I once visited Tana River County when in the last parliament, Honorable Speaker, and I was so impressed by what that county was doing, because whatever was being collected in every health facility was being plowed back into that health facility for them to be able to provide the health services. And how I wish that instead of collecting monies from our health facilities and then take it to the basket of the county, and again now the money disappears and never goes back to be able to handle our. Honorable Speaker, again, it is important as we look into these monies going down, the county assemblies must make sure that there is an effective, convenient, and effective